Hello, my name is Cheryl Wilson and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, thank you for joining me. I'm an abstract artist and I'm still finding new friends that are finding my channel. So just an introduction, I do abstract paintings online. I do some tutorials. I do different types. Since I do a very large amount of my abstracts are very large, for this channel, I try to tailor it down to smaller so I can capture it on the camera for you. So the ones I'm going to do for you this week are fun and bright and a little bit different than my normal, very neutral paintings, but it is a good example of a painting that you can change to make it very large. This could be a very fun, extremely large, almost mural-like painting, or they could be smaller and fun, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So I'm also a under Intentional Artist. I do have a training site, intentionalartist.com, and I hopefully this next year will be putting more courses out there. I have a landscape course I'm getting ready to put out. But I wanted to just tell you about that a little bit, since I don't talk much about that part of my world. I wanted to mention it because I'm asked all the time, do I have other training? And yes, I do. The link will be down below if you're interested in that. But let's jump into this painting. I'm gonna show you the two paintings, and then we're gonna talk about how I created them, because it's not only a beautiful painting, but it's a lot of fun. Here's the first one, and kind of give you a little background of this. There are a lot of times where I will paint a painting, and then I will use a technique where I rip up pieces of the painting and then put it back together again. I may grab other pieces of collage type painting. In this case, I created these extra black and white pieces to actually be incorporated into the painting when I ripped it up, just to give it a different look. Sometimes you're surprising yourself at how you're putting a painting together, and it's a lot of fun. So I created the painting, I ripped it up, and then I added some additional marks on top to kind of incorporate it all together, and it was just a lot of fun. I thought I would do something fun and actually enlarge these and show you what these would look like as a fun, very large painting, or like a mural type painting. They're a lot of fun. It's full of a lot of color, very easy to do, as you'll see. You don't have to add the black and white marks, but as you can see, the background itself is easy enough. So I want to show you how to do it, but I did have to show you this in large because I thought it was so much fun. Okay, so here's the second painting. It's a little bit different. The bottom there with the 3 circles is added collage. Of course, the black and white is the kind of the same concept. I just did 2 to kind of give you an idea of, just to expand on the whole concept. All right, so I just start with, I think it's like a 9 by 12, and this is like watercolor paper. You could do this on any type of paper, because it's going to get ripped up and torn up. So I chose to do like 140-pound watercolor paper. Since you're going to rip it up and put it into collage, you could choose maybe an 80-pound or thinner paper. Doesn't matter. This is what I had on hand. And I just started by adding some real fun black marks to make it a black and white look collage to put on top of the colorful painting. At this point, I believe I've already painted the painting itself. I can't remember which I did first. So I did this like a week ago. But I'm just having fun doing some fun marks in black and white, and knowing that I'm going to cut this up and add this to my colorful collage, my colorful painting. So now I'm grabbing some of the different colors, and I'm choosing, my palette will be oranges and blues and yellows, blacks, just very vibrant, loud, and I'm just not thinking about anything other than enjoying myself. So I'm just grabbing the paint and just painting. So I'm going to let you watch this for a little bit. So now all the pieces are dry, and I'm looking at them, and this is where I'm going to decide how I'm going to put them all together, because I'm going to start ripping up the different papers and maneuvering them around. Could I just rip up the black and white and add it to the colored paper? Yes. But I think this really helps you form ideas of shapes and really get your inspiration, I guess, mood happening. I've mentioned before, it depends on how you rip the paper. If you rip it one way, you're going to have the white edges, and I love that in a lot of my paintings. Sometimes I don't, so you want to be careful which way you rip, and depending on if you want that white fuzzy edge to show up. So on this one, I'm just at the very beginning, looking at maybe shapes. I'm not even sure at this point what direction I'm going to go. So I'm going to just let you watch me for a little bit, and you'll see how I just rip up the paper and create an entire new painting, basically. So I wanted again to pop in here and just explain the concept behind this, because I don't like to just do art just to do art. I will sometimes, a lot of times work in my journal, a lot of times work on something when I haven't painted for a while. But this whole concept of style of painting is just to get you thinking in a different way. I think many times as artists, we can start to go down a path of doing the same thing over and over again. And I think a lot of times we get in a rut and we think nothing that we're creating is looking good. And then we stop and we get frozen and we can't move on. And that has certainly happened to me. Painting like this is a very non-committal but fun way to create really unusual, beautiful pieces. You can't go wrong. There's nothing I'm going to do here that is going to be wrong. It's the same thing for you. No matter if you rip these up in smaller pieces, larger pieces, however you do this, nothing's wrong. This is just an exercise for your brain to start thinking about different ways to do things. So there is no wasted time here. I don't like to do things that are a waste of time in my art. That may surprise some of you, but I don't. I like to do meaningful challenges, meaningful tasks, meaningful journal pages. And doing this to me is a way to be creative and think differently, especially if you're in a rut. I hope that makes sense to you, because I've done some things before in my art and I haven't repeated it because I think, why am I doing that? That's not taking me forward. It's not taking me backwards. It's not taking me anywhere. This ripping up your art and recreating a new piece has jump-started so many ideas for me. I don't know if you watched one of my videos on John Basquiat. I never can say Jean-Pierre Basquiat. I never say his name right. But painting that painting opened up just a window for me of creativity. And that's kind of like what this is doing. And I love the way that painting is right there. If all you do is not even glue them down, but place the pieces around on a canvas and look at it and take a picture of it and just take the inspiration of how they look. If that's all you do, that's great. Because even that piece right there, which is not the final piece, I move it around more, is beautiful and fun. So I'm winding down to the end of this one on the canvas, and I'm going to be adding these just little bits and pieces there for fun. And then to kind of bring it all together, I'm bringing in my line drawing. That's what I do on all my paintings, is a line drawing. And it's kind of just a good juxtaposition between the thicker black lines and now these thinner lines. And to me, it just brought the painting all together. And lines are part of what my marks are. So at this point, you can include, say you put a little stick figure in every one of your paintings, or you put an infinity sign, or this is where you can add your specific marks that are unique to you. But I'm liking this, and I'm just enjoying the final canvas that I did, and I did go ahead and frame this, and I have this on the wall in my house. So I liked it enough. It's different enough. It actually blends really well with a lot of my neutral paintings to have something with like this pop of orange and yellow next to it. So it's like a good, just a little pop of color. And it was just, it was a fun memory making this for you all that I will always remember when I look at it. So the second one, I just decided to rip up the paper and make a paper piece. And so that's what I'm doing here. Instead of grabbing a canvas, I'm just going to do something a little bit different. And so I'm actually ripping these up a little smaller than the first one. And you can see me cutting off some of the white on some of the pieces here. It's all a preference thing. But I liked the white on some of the pieces, but I wanted to remove it on some of the other. And I tend to rip off anything that's a straight edge. I like the edges to be very organic. So you'll see me doing that. If it looks like it's a straight edge, I try to change that. But these are a lot smaller. And so I'm looking at it and I'm trying to decide, well, what am I going to do with this? I just love this point where I'm going to say, okay, what am I going to do? So this is just a piece of paper I had. It was just unfinished painting that for some reason kind of got abandoned somewhere. And it was perfect because if there's anything that peeks through from below, it's just usable for the art. So I'm putting these pieces together. Like I said, they're smaller and it gives a little bit different of it's definitely a collage type painting. But again, there is no wrong way to do this. Just fun. So since this is paper on paper and not the paper on canvas, I'm using not as thick of a gel. The first one was a very heavy gel. This is kind of just a normal gel. So that's why I had the two of them out. It's definitely a preference thing. A lot of people just use the heavy gel for everything. I just have both of them. So I chose to use the lighter gel. This is given a totally different look. It's going to end up being kind of the same, but a totally different look because the pieces are a lot smaller. Instead of like 3 or 4 larger pieces. Now, that has a hard edge. It's like a corner down there. And so there are some pieces that I did put on here with the hard edging on it. And again, I wanted to bring in to map up to the other painting some of that black and white. So I hope you enjoyed this style. I hope it was fun. I hope you give it a try. Again, it is mainly just to have a different creative part of your art journey. It is fun, and it does open the door to be creative in a totally different way. So here's the two paintings. You'll notice on the left there, I added that bat looking shape at the end. But these are framed, and they're colorful and they're fun. And again, I hope you like this. And even if it wasn't your style, consider not giving me a thumbs down just because it's not something that you like. There's a lot of effort that goes into these videos, and find something you like about it to give me a thumbs up. My channel's slowly growing. I'm in the mindset of, do I continue to do YouTube videos? There are comments I get from people that say that they really need the inspiration, and that's why I keep going, and I do it for those. There's the membership. There's about 8 or 9 in the membership. You touch my heart for being a part of that with me and supporting me as an artist. I find it takes a good couple days away from my creative, larger paintings to do this, and I do it out of love. And I really could use the encouragement for a thumbs up. And thank you for those that do a thumbs up, that watch to the end, that leave a comment. It touches my heart, and that's what keeps me going. And I appreciate every single one of you, even those that never leave a comment. I appreciate you watching. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed this, and just let me know that you stopped by. I'd love to hear from you, and those that continually leave me a comment, I'd love to hear how you're doing. And those that are never left me a comment, maybe this is the video you'll say hi. Anyway, take care. I appreciate all of you, and until next time, a big hug and a kiss.